just suggest do your research. I mean, you have to do your research and whatever is going to work best for your business. I mean, you just got to look into, what eXp has to offer. And I mean, there's no comparison, I think, with comparing to everything else that's out there. So you really have to do your research and really make the smart decision, make the smart choice,
Hey there, future real estate legends. This is Jason P. Jordan, your go-to global real estate coach and the president and CEO of the Legends International team, brokered by eXp Realty. I just wanted to thank you for being here and welcome you to another episode of the Lit Real Estate Show, where we interview our equity partners at eXp Realty in the USA and from all around the globe. Now, I just ask you to please subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button and hitting that bell icon so you never miss another Lit show or any other future videos that I have then launch here on this channel. It also helps the show grow so we can get even more successful eXp Realty agents on to help you. Now, at the same time, if you're a subscriber, you'll get access to new shows before anyone in the world does. If you would, subscribe right now. Thanks so much. All right, let me introduce our guest speaker today, Mr. Carlos Lizarraga from Tucson, Arizona. Carlos is a bilingual, top-producing realtor based in Tucson, Arizona, a growth ambassador, and the founder of the Beardown Crew, a fast-growing community built around production, mentorship, and wealth creation at eXp Realty. Carlos's path to real estate was forged in the trenches, spanning collections, B2B sales, business development, and owning an auto dealership, where he learned accountability, negotiation, and leadership the hard way. That hands-on experience became the backbone of his success in real estate, allowing him to consistently perform at a high level while helping others do the same. With over 7 years at eXp Realty, Carlos has built a reputation as both a producer and a mentor, specializing in residential sales, new construction, relocation, and investor opportunities across southern Arizona. As a growth ambassador and agent recruiter, he actively coaches agents on production systems and revenue share, helping them build sustainable businesses inside a collaborative, culture-driven environment. Through a recent partnership with us at the Legends International team, Carlos is now taking the Beardown Crew global, expanding BDC beyond borders and creating new opportunities for agents worldwide to grow, connect, and build long-term wealth together. So with that said, Carlos, mi amigo, ¿cómo estás? How are you, my friend?
Muy bien, ¿y usted?
Fantastico. Okay, doing
right.
Great, man, doing great. I remember a call you and I had a few months back, right? And I was looking forward to actually us doing this call right here. So let's, as we get started with our conversation today, let's jump in the real estate time machine, our DeLorean, right? And let's set the clock back and let's go back to the days before you were in real estate. What were you doing back then? And take us through that journey of what brought you to real estate.
Yeah, I mean, I was a serial entrepreneur. I was, a lot of sales background. Everywhere I go, I strive to be the best or like number one. And, so sales has been my niche and then that translated in, being an entrepreneur, started my own car dealership. I was an auto dealer for a little bit of time.
That's a hard business, man. Right?
Yeah, well, I got my taste of it, working at a finance company, and they put me in charge of like the repossessions and everything like that. So I would go to the auctions, and I don't know, I really liked it. The bidding, I was like in the podium and like. So that got me really interested in like, okay, well, if they can do it, well, what do I need to do to get my dealer's license? So, and I got it and started my own thing and it was fun,
You want to talk about a way to build a thick skin, man, right? Collections, car sales, right? Doing auctions.
And I learned everything myself, all a little bit of YouTube, that's where I started back then. And when YouTube was barely starting out, and so yeah, that was that was a good learning experience,
I
and yeah,
remember
yeah.
I was going to say before we go over to real estate. So I remember when I was a banker out of the university. So that was my first job, was being a banker, and I remember I got this book. It was called The Greatest Salesman in the World by like a guy named Joe Girard or something like that, and he was a massive car salesman, right? And so it was a really thin book. It was a quick read, but tons of great skills and stories. Do you know the book I'm talking about?
No, I don't, but
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, what was the title of it?
I think it was called The Greatest Salesman in the World, and I think it's by a guy named Joe Girard. And he talks about like going the extra mile. So one of the things that he would do is he would stay late on Saturday night after everybody left, and he would go put his business cards on every single car in the lot because he knew people would come on Sundays because they didn't want to be bothered by the salespeople. And so they would come on Sundays to look. And so then they would end up taking his card because he was the only one that had his information on the inventory, right?
Mhm.
So he talked about doing all these little things in order to make a big difference, right? And so he ended up becoming like the number one sales guy for that brand of cars in the entire United States several years running because he would do all these little tactics that nobody else was willing to do. So you go from collections, auctions, you own your own car dealership. So what was it that made you decide to make that move?
Well, I mean, I got a taste of it, you know what I mean? And I like going to the auctions and just bidding on cars and getting them and just, I don't know, but I always wanted to provide a product that, I don't know, it was just too stressful to me, like, the cars even though I had like the proper like servicemen taking care of the cars, I would always worry about like, what if something happens on the road because I'm getting them from the auctions, and a lot of these dealerships, they just put them through the line so it rolls off, and yeah, you don't know what you're getting. So it was a learning experience for sure in that being an auto dealer. Yeah.
So what was it that made you decide to make the move to real estate? Did you have a mentor, or
Oh,
did somebody
well,
bring an opportunity to you? What was it, Carlos, that kind of
I'm a
brought you?
second generation realtor. Okay.
Mm,
My mom got licensed in 2004. She's been, she was doing it. And then my dad also did it in Southern California. So it was always around me, but and my mom was always pushing, you're really good at sales. You're really good at sales. Why don't you get into real estate? Get your real estate. I'm like, all right, mom, eventually I'll get it. I'll get it. But yeah, finally I got it in 2018, and yeah, and starting out, my mom, I don't know, her ways of doing real estate was completely different. Like, sending docs through fax machine, and then she wasn't like, she worked at a little boutique real estate, so she was getting leads from her little broker. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But when I got in it, okay, what do I do? You know what I mean? So how do I get the business? And like,
Was she telling you to
her.
send faxes?
Well, no, it was just like I didn't get any help at all. I'm like, okay, but yeah, I
So,
pretty much had to learn myself and everything, pretty much, yeah.
well, I mean, if you had a thick skin and you know how to get out there and do the business, I mean, I'm sure you weren't even afraid to door knock, right? So,
Yeah, no, I'm willing to learn, and I'm very driven, and just like, you know what, I'm getting it, I'm gonna do it, and I'm just gonna, learn it myself if I have to, however I need to. I'm gonna, make sure to make this happen.
right? So then you're starting out as a solo agent, kind of working with mom, learning the business. So did you build your team before you came to eXp? Kind of how did all that transpire, right?
Well, I was,
What were the first few
with
years of
different.
business like,
Yeah, I mean, I started out with like eXp, but I was part of a team, and it was a big team in Tucson, and they were more driven on the team thing. I didn't really, which I looked into eXp, the model, and I went into the world back then in 2018, and I was like, oh,
That
this
must have
is
been
really
super
cool.
interesting.
Yeah, it was
What the world
interesting,
looked like, the virtual world looked like back in 2018. That must have been interesting to see.
Yeah, and I'm all about technology, and I'm like, okay, this could be something different. You can do business from anywhere. This is great. And you're meeting with real people. You know what I mean? But they're just in the little avatar character. You know what I mean?
Right.
So no, I thought it was really cool, and but I don't know. I just I didn't belong in the team, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And it didn't work out. And I was kind of working part-time at a different job, and so I was doing it part-time, and they were like, Carlos, we need full-time agents here. So they were like, okay. So I went my own way. I went to Coldwell Banker and just tried out different things, and there was eXp. And my friend, that I went to high school with, Nico,
Right.
he told me about it. He wanted to partner with me, so I was like, and I could have joined with anybody, but I wanted to be loyal to, he's the one that, tried to recruit me. So I stuck with him, and it is what it is, you know what I mean? But yeah, recently.
Well, I think there's a lot there. I think when I look at my sponsor, right? If you choose people you have a strong relationship with, when times get tough, right? You know that you can lean on them, and they know they can lean on you. And I think those relationships that are battle tested, I think there's a lot to that, right? And so,
Which I knew. I knew, the local presence that he had. I knew that was important. So that's one of the things, which I knew. Like I was looking at YouTube. It took me like 6 months when I rejoined back to eXp. I was really doing my due diligence and really doing my research, looking at all these different communities and organizations out there. So it was tough, but I was like, you know what? In the end run, this is the good choice. This is,
take us through. So take us through, Carlos. Now, okay, so you come back, you partner with Nico's, right? And now you're building the Beardown Crew. So talk to us a little bit about, building this local team that you guys got there that are multilingual now, right? So we're going to dive into how you did that, but you built that, and now you're at the point where you're like, okay, now I want to take this thing international, right? So you were starting to think that, and that's how we bumped into each other, right?
Well, the wheel started in motion when eXp announced the co-sponsorship opportunities. When it first rolled out, because I'm one of the guys. I mean, there's a lot of eXp agents that are not connected and don't know about like everything that eXp has to offer, because it's a lot, And
there is a lot. Yeah, exactly.
It's too much. I mean, you know what I mean? But I'm still like in the know. I'm still connected, and I still want to know what eXp. So I found out about it like when it was just like first getting rolled out, And I was like, wait a second, because I was like thinking, okay, I'm gonna have to leave. Back then, you could leave for 6 months and come back and join a different sponsor, but but then they changed it to 1 year, if you come back. So then, okay, I was like, damn, I'm and then this new co-sponsorship opened up, and I was like, okay, now I don't have to leave. I can stick with,
I can have my cake and eat it too, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So it just it opened up a lot, and ever since then I've been doing my homework, reaching out. I posted on that little.
It was workplace, man. Think about back when we were using Facebook's enterprise platform. For those of you who are new to eXp or watching this recording in the future, so we used to be the #1 customer of Facebook's enterprise platform called Workplace. So Facebook decided to get out of that business, so we had to find a new platform. But it was on that platform there were a lot of leaders, agents in different parts of the U.S. that were talking about co-sponsoring, and Carlos put out this, message about, I want to grow internationally. If you are growing internationally, I'd like to talk to you. And then I put out a post or something, and so then we had a conversation, right? So, Carlos, you have talked to a lot of people at eXp about co-sponsoring, partnering, working together. And you and I had an initial call, and then I told you, I said, hey, come to our meetings, come meet some of the teams, see what's going on, right? And then you can decide, do you want to co-sponsor and bring our groups together in collaboration, right? So, the Beardown Crew is lit now, right? So we're together, right? We get to combine our culture,
yeah, exactly.
right? So just like my friend Daniel Ng and Dallas, who runs the We Partners Network, and he said to me in Miami, he said, "We lit," and I said, "I like that too," right? So it's a way to have the best of both worlds. So the first agent that we co-sponsored together, Jorge. So we're going to be having Jorge next week on the call. So talk to me a little bit, Carlos, about why did you decide to partner with us? To grow internationally. Why was Jorge? Why was it the right fit there as well?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm looking for like the best. I understand. What's out there. Anybody can do their research and see, but I'm trying to see. Okay, I'm trying to think. Okay, if I'm trying to create something that's unheard of, in Tucson, I want to be able to sit at a table and be like, hey, check this out. And then the agent be like, whoa, you know what I mean? I want to wow them when I'm talking to them, when so I'm looking, I mean, this makes more sense when I'm talking to you. It was just like more like-minded, and it just made more sense connecting. And it's who you want to partner with at the end. Yep. And what makes more sense. And you're always like available too, without hesitance. It's like, hey man, I got this guy. I'm like, hey, bring me on the Zoom meeting right now. I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Let's go.
I'm
right?
Like, you're always there. So that was important, you know what I mean? And I had interviews with all the top ones, your Go-Go's and your,
you don't have to drop everybody's name, but
Mike Sherrard's, yeah. So, but it's who you want to align with and who you want to partner with is crucial for your business and your growth,
Well,
so
Carlos,
I think this is going good, and you told me who you were looking to partner with, and Jorge came along, and I said, Jason, let's talk to Jason, and he was like, all right, yeah, I want to partner with Jason. Let's go. So it's going good. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I'm excited. Jorge's got a unique niche as well, right? And I think, but I think the biggest key factor is that we really rely on leveraging people's language skills and their cultural connections to grow their business. I mean, that's the main focus of our organization, right? And so when you introduced me to Jorge, when you and Nikos introduced me to Jorge, I was like, this is a great fit. I used to, at one point in my life, I was an elite athlete in my sport, right? And Jorge played on the national team for Puerto Rico on the national basketball team, right? So we had that connection, and then we started talking about how he wants to grow real estate, how he wants to rehab homes in Puerto Rico and all of this. And I was like, man, this is like a perfect fit, right? And we all gelled like it was the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse on the call. We were just gelling, right? So it was awesome. So talk to us here with our last couple minutes that we have left of this interview here. What do you see as the future, Carlos? I mean, you've been watching eXp since 2018, man, right? Yeah. So what do you see now? Right?
I love it. I mean, I see the direction that Glenn Sanford is just going. I mean, you saw the hub he created, like out of nowhere. Like nobody liked the Slack thing, so he created something differently. So I like the technology. I like the founder, the leadership that's involved with eXp, and it's just going to get even better with this co-sponsorship. It's just going to be collaborative. and we're just going to get more quality people coming on board, you know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. So
Yeah, I think co-sponsoring, what it did was it poured, my friend Steve Craig's, we came up with this concept, poured not jet fuel, rocket fuel on the collaboration, which is a core element of eXp's network and our platform, is the collaborative nature of the entrepreneurs that have leveraged the platform, which eXp is a platform, have leveraged the platform to build their business on top of. Co-sponsoring poured rocket fuel on that collaborative spirit, right? I see growth happening right now like I've never seen at eXp, that in the 5 years that I've been building at eXp, right? I see growth happening at a huge level in North America and especially internationally, right? And there's a huge opportunity, especially those of you in the US right now. This merger between Compass and Anywhere is going to create a lot of confusion for those, especially those agents that are at the Anywhere brands, right? So anyone who's at Coldwell Banker, Century 21, Sotheby's, right? Because they're going to try to merge those two cultures and that technology, and that's not going to be easy, right? So there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be like, this isn't a fit for me anymore. And so that's going to be a great opportunity for people like us. And I know that's happening because one of the biggest Compass agents just moved last week, and I'm the co-sponsor, right? And she speaks German, right? And so that's how she and I connected and how we got put together, right? So those opportunities are going to continue to happen a lot over the next couple of years. And so I would say, even to you, Carlos, because you were at Coldwell Banker at one point, those would be some of the agents that I would start to talk to and say, hey, I'm just curious, what are you guys thinking about this merger, right? And that can be just a great conversation. Just let them talk, right? And you don't even have to interject eXp at that point, right? Just listen, right? But I think the growth in front of us, and I'm going to share a slide in a little bit about international, that's what excites me the most, right? And partner with leaders like you, Carlos, we're going to have a great ride, man.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, I want to help out. I want to help the movement for sure. So, yeah.
So if somebody's here taking a look at eXp for the first time, or maybe maybe they've already been thinking about it and they're here and they're trying to make their final decision, what would one piece of advice be that you could kind of leave them with as we end our interview today?
I mean, I would just suggest do your research. I mean, you have to do your research and whatever is going to work best for your business. I mean, you just got to look into, what eXp has to offer. And I mean, there's no comparison, I think, with comparing to everything else that's out there. So you really have to do your research and really make the smart decision, make the smart choice, and yeah, you're not going to go wrong with being part of the Legends International team, that's for sure. Yeah.
Hey, well, let's bear down and do it together, right? So that's what I want to focus on, is that it doesn't have to be about one particular person or team, right? That's the power of what we got now, is that we can collaborate together and grow. So, Carlos, I'm excited about the future. Vamos, mi amigo. Come on, let's go, right?
Ándale, vámonos.
All right. Okay.
Sí se puede.
Exactly. Thanks again, Carlos, for the interview. Stick around, of course, in the third segment, guys, because I'm going to be talking to Carlos about how he works with this team, how they leverage their language skills to generate more business locally. Because this is for those of you that are multilingual, he's going to drop some nuggets for you, right? So stay tuned, more coming up. Hey, I hope you found value in today's legendary interview with our special guest. If you'd like to see more interviews just like this one, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to learn more about today's guests, I placed all their contact information in the description below. Who knows, maybe they are the mentor you've been looking for. And if you're looking to make a change who you are partnering with in real estate, feel free to book a no-pressure private Zoom call with me. During this private call, I'll share with you how we help real estate agents leverage their language skills and cultural connections to close more transactions both locally and internationally using cutting-edge lead generation technology and marketing techniques. If you want to find yourself in a different situation in 90 days or in a year from now, it's important to find the right partners that can mentor you, have the right strategies, and are willing to give you the roadmap without asking for an additional cut of your commission. With the unique eXp Realty model, it's a collaboration, not competition mentality. The numbers don't lie either. So if you're curious, reach out and set up an appointment. I look forward to meeting you. Feel free to check out the other videos I have here on the channel about eXp Realty too, in case you're just curious. Otherwise, drop your questions or suggestions for upcoming guests in the comments below. Once again, I'm Jason P. Jordan, your go-to global real estate coach with the Legends International team, brokered by eXp Realty. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.